short sequence of 3 neck movements. Let's make those 3 movements our friends and do those movements anytime. It's what I call micro movement. Micro movement is literally a tiny movement that works deep and makes the possible injury impossible because the movement is so little. So sitting straight, you can have your hands anywhere you're comfortable. Just make sure your shoulders are down. There's no tension on your shoulders. And one important instruction for this one is tuck your chin. Tucking the chin does not mean dropping your head. So sit straight. I would touch the chin and press it in. And when you tuck your chin, you feel immediate lengthening, tiny lengthening on your neck. Now from here, from the long neck, begin the exercise number 1. And these are, let's remember, these are micro movements. Means the movement is so little that you could be in a meeting moving your head and nobody would probably notice. So to speak, really, you can see the movement, but it definitely is tiny. So you keep moving this, I don't know, till you get tired, maybe a minute or 2. 2 minutes is actually a lot when you do this. But you definitely, at a certain point, you start feeling like you're getting tired. The neck is getting tired. And what happens here is, like, if you imagine your neck like a rubber band, you do stretch, release, stretch, release, stretch, release, and you strengthen the muscles along your neck, and that feeds the discs between your vertebrae and also releases tension in your nerves. Very, very beneficial movement. Let's relax. So I think while I was talking and we were doing, it was probably 45 seconds or so. I didn't check time, but about so. How did you feel this movement? Was it, did you get to feel like, okay, I'm getting a little tired, or it was...
It's warm.
It was starts feeling warm, yeah.
Stretching back down here.
Absolutely. So when you pull here, it's like you're pulling between the shoulder blades as well. So these muscles,
yeah, will relax.
You will extend and relax them instead of continuously having them hard like a stone, which most of us have. Okay, that was movement number 1. Now movement number 2 from the same series, micro movement. Tuck your chin again and start your no movement. And again, tiny movement. Here we are doing the movement that we probably don't want to be noticed, so to say, you know. Now here, because the movement is side to side, we are massaging between the vertebrae. Again, the discs. And that's why it's so important to do it from the extended neck. So then you don't grind your nerves, you actually create space. So you release the nerves.
So the only movement you should have is with the section of the neck. Every other part of your body should be relaxed.
Everything else, good question. Everything else is resting.
Relax.
Absolutely, yes, you're right. And we only do this. That's it.
How long should you do that? 2 minutes each?
I would say 1 minute to 2 minutes. If you have time, put a clock, timer, and go ahead and do this for 1 minute to begin with. So now the third movement of the series of the 3, it also begins from the tucked chin. Tucked chin, again, you still see straight, your face is still forward, but you sort of shrink the space here and extend the space on the back, like you're lengthening, literally. And the third movement is the one I call I movement, or bubble head movement. Very relaxed movement. Now, this point you brought up a minute ago is more important for the third movement. You really want to rest everything else. And you feel like somebody was holding your head and doing the movement for you. So relaxed you are. And let's stop. So these three are very, very friendly movements. There's no possible way you can hurt your neck doing it. On the contrary, what you create is space between your vertebrae. You release and decompress, which is what we all need. Sometimes from sleeping in a wrong position. Sometimes from just a habit. Sometimes from accumulative muscular tension. Sometimes due to incorrect alignment, posture. Let's go through these three movements again. 1 to 2 minutes, shoulders down. What you can do, by the way, is find a way to, I think this is better, to hold somewhere the chair to avoid the temptation of doing this. So what you want is roll the shoulders back, hold somewhere. This is not a must. It's suggested. And now tuck your chin, important. Micro movements, tiny baby movements, barely noticeable, yes. 1 to 2 minutes. Are you breathing? Please don't hold your breath. Let's keep. Yeah. Keep your eyes open and you are seeing in front of you, right? So this was one. Second one is the no movement. From the same tucked chin and longer neck.
Do you take a break in between?
Yes, you can, absolutely.
But you don't need to.
You don't need to if you don't get tired. Now in this time we don't do it that long that we did the first time, so that's why we keep going. But you totally can take a break. You can do the yes, and then in the middle of the day the no, and then at night then the ay. So that was the second movement. And the third movement, tucking the chin, the bobbled head. Again, all the three are so relaxed. You are barely making any effort. Like somebody was holding your head and doing this movement for you. So relaxed your neck is. 1 to 2 minutes to decompress, to create space between your vertebrae, to release pressure where your discs are. So then you feel it's relaxed. You feel relaxation not only on the neck. So when we have compression on the neck, we feel very hard trapezius muscles. Maybe one at a time, by the way. Most of times it's one side stiffer than another. We may start feeling tension even between the shoulder blades. But the most unexpected thing when we have compression on the back, on the neck, is our hands and arms. We may start having pain in our arms, numbness and tingling, especially when you sleep. Especially at nighttime. If you suddenly wake up and you feel like tingling or pain or numbness, comes from the neck. Anyway, so the three movements that come to the rescue, you can do them all together with a little break, with a long break, no break. If you do it up to 2 minutes, you probably get tired, so you will need a break. If you wake up with the pain in your neck. So this is great, by the way, as a symptomatic exercise. So let's say you woke up with the pain, do this, right? And also as a preventative exercise. You didn't have pain in the morning, but you know you have tendency to, because of your posture or because of any maybe injury, do this too. So this exercise is very noble because it works in both cases, as preventative and as a symptomatic.